Stan Gibilisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV Whiskey 1 Golf Victor with some antenna follies for you. What you're looking at over here on the left is a ICOM antenna tuner, an automatic antenna tuner that I used to use to tune my vertical antenna. But this control cable, this white wire, that control cable goes about 50 feet into the transceiver. Now, I always used to disconnect the antenna and ground it when I wasn't using the radio. But evidently, that wasn't sufficient to protect this little thing right here, because it went kaput one day after a thunderstorm. The only way that an electromagnetic surge could have gotten into this to fry it, and these things do have sensitive electronics in them. They're not like the big old antenna tuners of days gone by. These are little electronic devices, little electronic things with integrated circuits and things that can easily get fried, and it did. Apparently this control cable right there picked up enough of a current surge from a nearby lightning strike to fry the innards of that tuner, even though the antenna was completely disconnected. So now this thing is sitting here just for decoration. I might replace it someday, but why? Why replace it only to have that same thing happen again? So what I did was I connected the antenna directly to the radio through this cockamamie series of connectors. Well, it was even more cockamamie before than it is now. The antenna comes into the cable from the bottom. That RG8X, I believe it is, comes in from the bottom. Then it goes through a PL259, an adapter, a pair of BNC connectors to make it so that I can easily disconnect it. There goes the flashlight down. Don't get old. Everything will fight you. Everything will fight you. Even your own hands. Disconnect this very quickly with that and then reconnect it very easily. Well, that's kind of cool. That's a neat arrangement. Now, but you got all these adapters and stuff like that. And they're outside, outdoors in the Dakota weather. After that BNC is another PL259 that goes to a barrel connector, and then another PL259 which goes to the cable leading to the radio. So that is I guess you'd call it kind of a Rube Goldberg contraption. Well, when you got that many little connectors all connected, multiple connected connectors, when you have that kind of a situation out in the weather, sooner or later, corrosion is going to get in there and work a number on it, and that's exactly what happened to the previous set of connectors that I had. So I had to replace them. My antenna indicated that instead of a 1.2 to 1 SWR on 20 meters, it went up to 4 to 1. And in addition to that, I was getting all kinds of noise and no signals. Wonder what's going on with that. So the first thing that I suspected was this cockamamie bunch of connectors. And boy, you know, I made the right guess. Murphy got into those connectors, but I got into Murphy's brain real quick there. Now I've got those things replaced, and until the next event that destroys something in one of those connectors, I'm good to go. So if that can happen to me, it can happen to you. When you have connectors like that outside, now you'd say, well, why don't you insulate them? Why don't you cover them up? Well, the reason that I don't cover them up with tape or something is because I want to be able to disconnect that thing right quick, especially in the summer, because lightning storms can pop up around here out of nowhere. I've seen lightning strike out of practically a clear sky. Well, now you see what I told you? Everything will fight you. Trying to make a video and connect a BNC connector at the same time, I managed to do it. Well, so that if that can happen to me, it can happen to you. Beware. These are good contraptions, but Sooner or later, these connectors will corrode. So be ready for it and have replacements on hand. Stan Gibilisco, W1GV. Signing off until next time, 73, and so long.